everyone, and welcome to Diamonds of Craft, where I make things. My name is Sarah, and Merry holiday season to you. I have to apologize for being so late with this video. I unfortunately got a little bit ill, not COVID. I did fall ill on the 23rd or something of December, so my Christmas Eve and my Christmas Day were tainted with illness. So it has taken a little while to get this video edited and voice overed without me sounding like I want to die. I kind of feel like I'm still at that point, even though I feel absolutely fine. It's just maybe my voice will be a little bit lower, a little bit more scratchy. I'm not sure. But this year I did want to make my own elf on a shelf, except not as scary as the elf on a shelf dolls. No, they really terrify me. I really don't like them. I like the concept of them though. I like how, they get mischievous in the night and they start doing things around the house, and it's quite magical for the kids. But the doll itself is really not on board with that. No. So I thought I'd make my own. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do again apologize for this late Christmas present to all of you, but I hope you all had an excellent holiday. Without any more messing around, I'm going to get straight into the video. It's quite short, but does the trick, and you can all continue your seasonal happiness with this, maybe. So, for my little festive elf, I have chosen the Shopkins doll, mainly because I like the molded on gloves, and the top is very sweet. Generic enough to look the part when it's painted. Plus, her hair was still in excellent condition. I do need to sort it out though, which means crisscrossing the part line back and forth so it covers the head better. All I did was gather the hair into two sides respectively and leave the part line out. I'd already completed some of it off camera and it went really well. So I just gather the middle and I take a tiny piece of hair from one side and I cross it to the other, securing it with a clip. Once it's sorted, it looks awesome. Now her face comes off. I tried to get her whole face on the cotton, which was hilarious, I have to say. Since I am just painting the top part, I need to make her a new skirt. There's no need to make her a whole outfit. I was going to just have this green ribbon and white lace, but I just love this red velvet material and all the layers look really nice together. Very Christmassy. I primed her top with white gesso paint. I covered her middle and hands in a few layers and left her to dry in between each layer. This is just so that the paint will be much brighter when I put it on later. And for the skirt, I decided to pleat the green ribbon for some extra texture, and I added the lace to the bottom of that. Then I sewed the top together to keep the pleats in place and gathered the red velvet and layered that on top. Now to match the colour scheme, I'm painting her gloves the same green as the ribbon, or as close to it as I could get, which I was quite impressed with myself. I managed to get this colour, to be honest. I covered her hands and her collar and the little ribbon on her chest, so those are all the green accent parts. The rest is going to be red. Again, I tried to mix the colour as well as I could, and it's really not too bad. Then to seal it, I used this Duraclear matte sealant with drops of water. Doesn't really matter if it's shiny, it's Christmas. The shinier the better, to be honest. I covered her with 2 coats of this stuff to make sure that the paint didn't chip. I left her to dry completely before I added the skirt. I sewed her right into it because it is far too small to remove and I don't really want to remove it anyway. I glued this little leather belt around her middle to disguise the bulky bit that we don't want to see. Then I added a cute little gold star to the front, and while I had those stars out, I decided I wanted her skirt to have more decoration, so I glued smaller ones around the bottom. For extra decoration, I wanted to make her these little bauble things. In my mind, they were like little magic holders in the shape of baubles, so she could spread the joy of Christmas wherever she went. I carefully filled the little globe up with a bit of mica powder and added some water so that it would swirl around nicely. Then I UV'd the top onto it so it would seal up. I did use my big UV light for this, not just the torch, because that was doing absolutely nothing. And here they are, red, green and gold. Now his shoes. Well, they're not shoes really, but they're these soft booty things. I don't know if anybody else gets them for Christmas, but they're like slipper boot situations. They're great. Anyway, that's what I'm going for. And as I wanted to minimize the sewing, I used the edge of the fabric, which was already hemmed. It was a nice shape to make the boot from it, so, you know, save time where you can, guys. I just wrapped the fabric around her foot, pinned it in place, and sewed it together from there like a sock. And then, of course, they need some flair. I wondered if the smaller star was enough, but it wasn't. So she gets a bigger star on her boots. And that's her outfit all sorted and done. I gave her little green ribbons, and later on I did add bells to them. Now she needs a face, and once again it took me a few goes to get this right. Not as much as Lestat did, and definitely not as annoying, but I went back and forth on what kind of eyes to give her a few times. I wanted her to have huge irises just because they're cuter, and we're talking about a little elf here. She's gotta be cute. But with the shape of her mouth, it just looks stupid. So I did take the bottom of her eye off. Sounds awful. You know the shape that the eye makes when you're doing an eye smile? That's what I was going for. And she ended up looking a bit more serene than happy. But that's fine, I like it. And I really love the big irises. They're just adorable. I also really love drawing them because there's so much more space to put colours and things in. Of course though, I redid this eye quite a few times before I was happy with it, but that's just the way things be. I did end up with something that I liked though, and they did match in the end, so it's all good. When I was drawing her eyes, I did kind of feel like they looked like big green baubles. hope I'm not alone when I say that these elf on a shelf dolls in the shops are quite scary. I don't know, something about their eyes. They've got an unsettling face, and I'm not I'm not on board with it. But you know, dolls in general are kind of scary anyway. So she needed some slash a lot of blushing on her cheeks here. I mean, she's an elf. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that this video, but she is. And as far as I know, elves are all rosy cheeked and cute. Well, my elf is at least. She's not like those scary ones. We don't talk about them. Some red eyeshadow to match her outfit, and if you can't see that I'm going for a specific colour scheme here, then I've done my job poorly, and I do apologise. She was starting to look a little soulless without any pupils, so don't worry, they are there. Adding some white for the teeth. Her mouth only really gives me one shape to work with, but it's fine, you know, it's a little cheeky and it's a little cute and it works. I added a shed load of mica powder to her face, because magical beings need to look kind of magical, and the only thing that makes it look magical are sparkles, so that's what she gets. Now it is time to add those little wispy eyelashes. Some huge catch lights and little speckles of light in her eyes before I finish. Then, as we all know, after the last spray of MSC, it is time to gloss her eyes and lips. And sadly, just before we took the photos of it, the baubles I made came loose and they smashed to the ground. So they don't feature in the pictures, but the idea was nice. I'll just have to make more for her later. So here she is. It is Elphie, my elf on a shelf. I just thought she was perfect to be a little mischievous elf this year, and I'm really happy with how she turned out. She has those little bells that I was talking about. And of course, the baubles did smash, and I haven't made any new ones as of yet, unfortunately. It happened in slow motion. I watched them fall and crack on the floor. Excellent. Love that for myself. I hope, again, you have had an excellent holiday and you have an even better new year if you're celebrating that as well. Let me know if you like this little one, what you thought about it. I will post more pictures on Instagram as usual. Handles are down below. If you're gonna comment down below, don't be a dick. It's not the spirit of the season. Don't do it. Don't do it. I hope you enjoyed this video though. Give me a thumbs up, maybe. Subscribe, or consider that, maybe. If you don't want to do any of those, that's fine. You don't have to. It's not really a requirement. I will see you on the next one. Listen, hat. Stay where you're supposed to stay. I will see you in my next video. Bye. It's Christmas time!